Welcome to my channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about X-Men Extermination. It came out in 2019, written by Brisson, where Marvel finally decides to send back the original X-Men who had been brought to the present during the Bendis era. That when that happened, I thought it was a cool idea, but then Bendis didn't do anything with that. And other writers that came on the X-Men after that just didn't know what to do with these X-Men from the past. You knew right off the bat that any character development that any of these X-Men would have during this time would be just retconned away. I think the only thing that stuck was the fact that Iceman came out of the closet and that he was openly gay. Literally, this miniseries feels like they're trying to rectify this whole situation and sweep everything under the rug. So the basic premise of the story is that we have Ahab, a villain that I freaking love. He's from the future. He has come to the past to hunt down the original X-Men because if he can kill them or make them into hounds, he knows he's going to break the timeline and accelerate the whole situation of the Days of the Future Past. And to be able to do this more effectively, what happens is Ahab sends in two mutants that have been indoctrinated by him into the X-Men. They're called Manon and Maxine. They're two French mutants. They're little kids who have mental powers that, with their powers combined, they can actually convert you into a hound immediately. So when Ahab does his first attack, X-Men start converting into hounds out of nowhere and we have utter chaos. On the other hand, we have another character hunting down the original X-Men who, at the beginning of the story, actually kills Cable. And what we discover later on in the story is that the character responsible for the death of Cable is actually a younger Cable who has established that the old one has gotten too soft and that he should have been the one responsible for sending the original X-Men back to their original timeline. And it's pretty hilarious because everything that young Cable has to say about the time-displaced mutants and how irresponsible everyone has been with this whole situation, not sending them back to their original timeline, is everything that I thought about this situation. So after the obligatory battles between the X-Men and young Cable and X-Force against young Cable, everyone ends up siding with Nathan, even the time-displaced X-Men, and finally they decide to go back to their original timeline. Now, before they return to the original timeline, Jean Grey travels to the future and discovers the weakness to Manon and Maxine's powers to give them the upper hand in defeating Ahab in the present. So now, after defeating Ahab, the original X-Men go back to the past and something very, very predictable happens. Jean Grey mind wipes all the X-Men of everything they lived through during the present. So this whole time displacement thing was worth nothing. Nothing at all. There's no character development.